Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Crypto Convo, series where we cover exciting news and price action in the land of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and crypto-related stocks, you guys. Unfortunately, as strong as Bitcoin was looking just yesterday, we did see an overnight sell-off. The bulls got a little bit faked out. I'm assuming some whales took some profits as we hit the all-time high, crossing 60K, because you are seeing a crazy amount of sell volume right here. And actually, as I was recording this video, Bitcoin did also unfortunately break out of this nice little bear flag right here that we will talk about once we dive into the charts, and we are seeing a big old red candle once again. You guys, this sucks. No one likes to see it, but in my personal opinion, it's all good. I do believe this is just a short-term correction prior to resuming the overall uptrend, the overall bull market that is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And as I always say, you guys, corrections are a healthy part of every bull market. All right. So that said, I still want to let you guys know how I'm seeing this correction play out, what my price targets are. You guys have some hints right here, how I see the remainder of this week playing out, resistance on the upside once we do resume this rally, and just give you guys my thoughts around Bitcoin and again how this week will play out. And of course, Bitcoin, the king asset, the king of the cryptocurrency sector, will of course impact the entirety of the sector itself. So we will jump in to probably the two stocks that are most likely to be the most affected by Bitcoin, and that is our favorite Bitcoin miners, Marathon Digital Holdings. I always want to say Marathon Patent Group. So Mara and Riot Blockchain, or Riot. All right, so we'll kick it off. Mara playing a nice game of catch up today with Riot. We've been calling for this, so it's nice to see that actually panning out. But again, you guys, I do think that tomorrow is going to be a rough one for both Mara and Riot. It would surprise me if that didn't play out. But that said, again, maybe we have more opportunities for accumulation over the course of this week prior to once again resuming the overall rally in the cryptocurrency sector. Moving on, XNET Jinlei had a wild day today, very volatile day for XNET. Earnings is tomorrow, so it makes sense we saw some volatility. It's going to be very interesting to see. So I have a few theories on XNET that I will talk about once we get later into the video. They do announce earnings tomorrow, but I do have, again, a few bull cases. Of course, if they crush earnings, it's going to be very bullish, but I do think capital could potentially flow out of plays like Mara and Riot into more blockchain-focused plays, like focusing more on the technology, which is what, like cloud blockchain, computing play, which is XNET or Jinlei. Okay, so XNET, very bullish on XNET, holding a big old bag of XNET. And then ZKIN up almost 37% today. You guys, crazy price action, super pumped. If you guys watched the stock watch yesterday, if you guys were watching, shout out to the newsletter portfolio fam. Did establish a ZKIN position on Friday. Very stoked that we kicked off the week on such a strong note. And I am seeing more potential upside, especially considering the crypto sector is pulling back. And we saw some insane green in ZKIN that makes me very bullish from a fundamental, I guess, perspective. And it's kind of the same argument I have for XNET as well. All right. So again, we'll talk about XNET, ZKIN, again, the more blockchain cloud focused plays. And then we will move in to the good old space stocks, the space plays that are ALYI or alternate systems. Very exciting here, up almost 15% today. You'll love to see it looking great on the charts. To see a lot of potential upside for ALYI over the course of this week, so that's obviously exciting there. And then we will close it out with CWRK. CWRK is one of the few plays that was in the red today. As we were saying on Friday and even yesterday, when we covered CWRK, and you guys, these are definitely the most appealing stocks to me. I kind of have tunnel vision on crypto. I'm sorry if you guys want to see other stuff, but this is honestly all I want to talk about, and I know a lot of you guys are excited about this as well. But as we said, CWRK did pull back a little bit. It was absolutely ripping over the past couple weeks, so it's not surprising to me at all. It just intuitively looked like it needed to pull back a little bit and cool down. So we are seeing cool down in CWRK. I will give you guys my downside price targets there, let you guys know what I'm personally comfortable accumulating more CWRK, and yeah, that will be the stock watch. Okay, so before we do get into it, I will ask you guys, as always, to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today, or if you are invested in or trading any of the stocks we're going to be talking about. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this. Rarely ask for numbers, but I really want to hit 49K. We're at like 39.1 right now, so really would appreciate it if you guys want to join the Waves fam, join the journey, catch more content like this, and subscribe and probably hit the bell. Never asked for that either, but I know it does good for the algorithm. Regardless, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to join the Waves fam, and of course check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter. First link down in the description. It's $15 a month if you want a complete breakdown of my entire portfolio that I do update every single trading day during market hours. All call options, all put options, all stock positions, of course all cryptocurrency positions that I do once again update every single trading day during market hours. And along with every portfolio update, I send out an email newsletter rationalizing my thoughts, explaining to you guys why I'm making the trades I'm making, throw some charts in there, throw some analyses in there, and just so you guys know what I think is important, again, at the time of trading. All right, so again, really appreciate it if you check that out. Put a lot of work into that myself, so means a lot if you do, but if not, no worries. Once again, first link in the description, $15 a month. Let's get into the charts. All right, so again, Bitcoin, if we break below this, right, we are dumping right now. You guys, if we break below this right now, that's not a good sign, but we will. It's going to be, this is super exciting actually how this is playing out. This happened a lot faster. You can see, you guys, I thought it was going to play out probably over like by tonight. This was going to go out, but we are going straight down. We are falling off an absolute cliff. Just for future reference, you guys, this happens, I would say 90% of the time, just from playing this market for so long. If you see a big dip like this, if you see a real salt, like pretty much just a straight up dump like this, it's very likely that we will go sideways for a little bit. You'll see a little bounce here, but it's almost always followed by another move down, okay, which is exactly what we're seeing now. And again, this is a good example of the bear flag, which is the ugly cousin, the ugly brother or sister, whatever you want to call them, the ugly sibling of the bull flag. So bear flag, as the name implies, not a bull flag, of course, does mean that it's a bearish pattern. So again, you see a big dump followed by this wedge pattern, which is again it's literally an inverse. It's the opposite of a bull flag. And we saw once we broke out of that, once we broke out the support on this little bounce that was this short-term uptrend right here, we did dump. So we are seeing some resistance play out right here. We already hit my price target, so it'll be very, very interesting to see if this does play out. The reason this is my price target, we'll go back to the 4 hour now. Actually, you know what, we'll zoom out after this, but I want to talk to you guys about if we do. So this is looking a little troublesome, you guys. You see, we are definitely hitting some support here, and I'll zoom out after this because I want to go to the 4 hour for that after we zoom out and I talk to you guys about the longer term. But I do think that, I think it's likely that we bounce off this, maybe go below it, see a little bear trap. So I think we will probably dip below this, but then be bought back up because a lot of traders are gonna be looking at this. Keep in mind, this could be like, this line could fluctuate because I'm not exactly sure how accurate this line is. I will get it on the T once we zoom out a little bit, but I do think that we'll bounce here, probably go sideways, and I do ultimately think that we'll come back up to at least see a significant bounce to test the line of resistance on the short-term downtrend. Again, just kicking off last night, all right? So, or I mean, I guess you could say a couple nights ago, all right? But I do think it's likely that we will come up over the course of this week, probably by the end of this week. Again, unless we break down, then that could mean a more bearish future for Bitcoin. But I do think that we will ultimately come up here, test the line of resistance. If we can break back above 58.5 by the end of this week, or just this is just the 16th, so this is actually just tomorrow, but 16th, 17th, if we can break above, just to play it safe, if we can break back above 58k, like 59k to play real safe, I mean, obviously get back to 60k, then we're definitely back in motion. But if we can break above 59k just to play it safe, I think we will. It's very, very likely we will resume the overall rally again. Yeah, you see it bouncing pretty significantly here. So saw the sell-off. The next, literally, maybe as we're looking at this, we'll come back to this at the end of the video to see what's going on here. But again, you guys, I do still think this is a short-term correction unless we close, I would say, a daily candle below this line of support, which we'll zoom to right after. If we do close a daily below this line of support, again, a 4 hour is usually what I go by. Many of you know that. But because we've been seeing so many fake outs in this current market environment, I need to see a daily close below the overall line of support to think that we will see more downside ahead, okay? And we can play out that scenario as well. But I do want to move on to other stocks, so maybe we'll save that for tomorrow. If we do, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, okay? So again, it's nice to see it being eaten back up. This line of support is coming into play. Let's go back to the 4 hour, and I'll let you guys know what I see playing out kind of after this, all right? So 4 hour, again, very, very obvious line of support right here, multiple touch points, and it actually is, we did technically just break a little bit below. So you can see, like, if I angle this, I gotta pull this back. I'm just gonna angle it like pretty much like that. I would say is about to the T, just using those two touch points right there as well. We did just break below it, but again, you can see us being eaten back up almost immediately. If we close a 4 hour below this, I will be worried, but if we close a daily below this, that's when I'll actually think that it's probably that's when I'll disregard the potential of a bear trap and think that we will probably see another move down. So if we do see another move down, where would we come? So it's very likely that if we do see another move down, I mean, just looking at, there's a lot of resistance around here, so we could come back down. I think it would make sense to come down to, like, so I wouldn't be worried if we come to, like, test this area right here, which is just kind of like that, the high, come down to test the previous high of the more short to medium term rally just at the beginning of this month. So I wouldn't be surprised if we come down here. If we break below this, I'd actually be worried. This is close enough to this line of support for me to think that this could be a bear trap. Like, the line of support on the uptrend is broken, but we are testing the previous high at the same time. So if we drop below, I would say if we go below 52k, if we close a 4 hour below 52k, or definitely a daily below 52k, then I would definitely get a little bearish on Bitcoin. But I think I personally don't think it's likely that we even close a 4 hour below this. I think this is a little bear trappy right here. I think we're going to bounce and ultimately come back up to test this line of resistance right here on this uptrend once again around 58.5. And if we can break through this once again, a closure above 59, I think we're back off to the races. And I do think that by the end, at some point this month, I think we're going to close in on 80K. These touch points, so this one makes more sense at this point. Like this is you can see this is like a pretty solid little line of resistance right here. I do think if this plays out March 24th, which again is when the plays we're going to be talking about, Mar and Riot do announce their earnings is like the 23rd and 24th, I believe. That would play out really, really nicely. Okay, so if we do close above 59K, I think we're resuming the rally, and I do think that prior to April 1st, prior to the end of the month, I think it's very likely that we break $80,000. All right, so bullish news for Bitcoin. Again, maybe we see a short-term pullback, but that's great accumulation potential for some of these plays as well, if you guys are interested, of course. So Mara, the beautiful thing about Mara here is even if we do pull back, so kind of like we were talking, if you guys watched the video where I covered the correlation between Bitcoin mining stocks and Bitcoin, today's a great example of it. Although Bitcoin did rally over the weekend, it's very, very exciting to see that Mara did like 6% is a very significant gain. Riot a little flat on the day. They both had very volatile days going red at certain points. But I do still think there's obviously going to be a little more downside ahead for both Mara and Riot. But I think the downside is going to be pretty limited. So if we do come down here over the course of the next couple days, I think it's very likely again, just TA 101, you guys, right here. I think it's likely that we come to test the previous high prior to that big pullback. Come test the previous high, that would take us to about a $39 Mara, just below 40 bucks. So maybe we'll see another 10% correction or something in Mara. But if Bitcoin does bounce, unless Bitcoin just completely breaks down right now, then I think we could go lower and we'll probably come back down and test this red line. I think it's more likely we do see a little correction to like the $39 area. Worst case scenario is not worst case scenario, obviously, but I do think it's also likely we could pull back to test this orange line, which is just a pretty historical line of resistance for Mara. That would take us down to about 38 bucks over the next couple days if we hit that, which also wouldn't surprise me. That would just be a higher low on this current short-term uptrend. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm comfortable accumulating more Mara personally at about 38 bucks, which again is about like 10-15% correction from here. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So yeah, excited to see what happens there. Excited to see if I can pick up increase my positions for a better cost per price per cost. I know. Anyway, guys, you guys know exactly what I'm saying there. Get Mara cheap. Get Mara for cheap. Get Mara at a discount. Topside price target for Mara by the end of this month remains at just March 24th, once again, right after earnings, to test the overall line of resistance here. That would take us to about $66. Conservatively, $65 is my price target for Mara on the short, on the medium term, I'll say. Okay, so by the end of this month, once again, I think we will resume the rally, and I do think we have at least one more HEVO, one more Hail Mary for the crypto sector. All right, moving on to Riot. As I've been saying, you guys, I do think Riot, I think, will play a little more extensive pullback. Same thing here. Riot is just a little more volatile of a chart at the moment. And you can see the stochastic, like the 4-hour Stokes definitely want to curl down. So I think it's very, very likely we see Riot pull back tomorrow. Price target for Riot currently is going to be about 57 bucks. So again, 6%. You're looking at like a same thing, 10 to 15% correction for both Mara and Riot, two peas in a pod. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Come down here. This would also lines up pretty nicely. Like if we test it just by the end of this week or on the 17th. Why is it going? Okay, there we go. Just over the course of this week, you guys, I think it's pretty likely that we probably come down here again, test 57 bucks around this level. 55 to 57 bucks is my general downside target for Riot. But I do ultimately think we'll come back up once Bitcoin resumes the rally. Bitcoin like down 4.5%. You guys, is not over the course of making this video, it's looking a little suspect, looking a little sus, okay? But Bitcoin, let's hope we see it come back up here. Or Riot, I do think we'll come back here. Definitely see some resistance here. And a best case scenario for Riot, if Bitcoin does hit 80K, I think it's very possible that Riot breaks 6 figures, test the overall line of resistance on the greater uptrend, and that would take us to most optimistic, most bullish scenario by April 1st. Once again, is going to be about $1.35. So conservatively $1.30 if all plays out as accordingly as it possibly could in my eyes. Okay, so that is Riot. Again, you guys, Bitcoin, we will come back to it at the end of the video. Let's just focus on a play that I'm very bullish on. So pretty much, you guys, just to sum it up right now, let's go to the hourly. Again, I talked about this in the portfolio group this morning. And the Discord, actually. If this isn't a bull flag, I don't know what is. So this is a beautiful bull flag that XNET is currently printing on the hourly, on the 5th, on any shorter term time frame. XNET is printing a beautiful bull flag. The beautiful sibling of the bear flag. So parabolic move up followed by a descending triangle. In this case, not a wedge, but a descending triangle. Perfect line of support right here, though. I would be surprised if this doesn't play out. Of course, if XNET, tomorrow we'll find out very soon, if XNET does not do well on earnings, which I do believe they will. I'm not going to go in depth into why I think that, but I do think XNET will perform on earnings, and then that catalyst obviously will likely catalyze a move up. The bull flag will play out. The bull flag is a lot more likely, almost guaranteed to play out in that case if XNET does impress on earnings. And I also think that, again, if money flows, people are still going to want to invest in cryptocurrency. Crypto is still hot. Crypto as a market, as a technology, blockchain technology, which again is what Jinlei focuses on, is still at the top of mind for many. And if plays that are more correlated directly to Bitcoin, like Mar and Riot or Bitcoin miners, do see a little downside in the short term, I think some of that capital might flow into plays like XNET and ZKIN, like we saw today. Okay, so more promising areas of the same sector. Again, Mar and Riot, obviously Bitcoin miners, but Jinlei, ZKIN, blockchain plays, like they're more of the altcoin plays as opposed to Mar and Riot, which are like Bitcoin plays. I do think that capital could flow into more promising areas of the same sector, okay? Because again, that's just you guys get what I'm saying here. I'm not going to expand on that much more, but I hope you guys understand kind of the general concept, the general rationale behind that, okay? Regardless, ZKIN printing a beautiful bull flag. I am excited to talk about ZKIN, but printing a beautiful bull flag right here. I think if they crush earnings, it's inevitable that we break out of this bull flag, come up here to test my short-term target to the upside, which by the end of this week would be about $9.50, just to test a pretty significant line of both support and resistance over the course of XNET's big rally. Best case scenario, if we can break above, just to play it safe, if we can break above $10, if we break double digits, I think it's very likely, and I still think it's very likely that at some point XNET ultimately comes up by the end of the month to test the overall line of resistance on the greater uptrend. Again, you guys, like, this is pretty likely at some point. Maybe we see some more downside prior to this, but I do think that at some point we will test this again. That would take us to a $16+ XNET by the end of the month, if all goes accordingly. But always know, you guys, my money is on it, so let's hope for the best here. It's either going to be a home run or a strikeout. So again, very exciting times for XNET. I'm excited to see what happens now, and I'm definitely excited to see what plays out tomorrow. Again, fingers crossed. Moving on, ZKIN, the big winner of the day, the MVP of the day. Again, so pumped that hopefully you guys picked up some positions as well. Again, you guys, none of this is financial advice. I never want to tell you guys what to do, but hopefully in like Friday's video and even the analysis I did just over a week ago, hopefully you guys thought ZKIN was a cool company like I did. Obviously I was sold, and I'm very excited to see what happens here. 36%, like one of the big winners probably in the greater market environment today. Seeing a lot of volume here, looking beautiful. I think it's very likely that probably tomorrow we'll see another move up, because again, ZKIN, I don't think ZKIN is going to be phased by the sell-off. And again, it's promising to see that XNET is not really like correlated. It doesn't really seem like XNET's really correlated to anything, which is weird. But again, that's why I could almost be a hedge within the sector itself, which again is kind of what I'm hoping for. Again, I'm obviously biased because I'm positioned in it, but that's just kind of my general how I'm convincing myself that hopefully there's more upside ahead. All right, so ZKIN, I do think the short-term price target, this will probably happen tomorrow, just because it's rare you see a really big day up followed by at least not like a 5-10% move up the next day. So I do think that'll take us again like another 5-10% up ish, and that would take us to test this previous line again, support resistance over the course of this rally. That would take us to about $9.50. If we do break above this, so similar to XNET, if we can break double digits for ZKIN, I think it's very likely we'll ultimately come out to test these price targets up here. This is my conservative price target. Obviously, a lot of traders could draw the line to the line of resistance, this trend line, to use this very top as a touch point. I don't feel comfortable doing that. You guys know that. I like to use multiple touch points, especially if it looks very like parabolic, bubbly like this does. I like to use multiple touch points. So conservative price target for ZKIN by April 1st. Again, like two-wave theory in a nutshell right here. First wave, see the bubble pop, capitulation, sideways movement. We're building momentum once again. You're seeing volume come back. And I think it's very likely that by April 1st, again, if all goes accordingly, my money's on it, that we can see an $18 ZKIN by the end of this month, okay? So very exciting there. Let's talk about getting into the space plays, the OTC plays. For those of you who don't know, I will just start mentioning this. ALYI and CWRK, you see the little D right here. That means they are OTC stocks, or over-the-counter stocks. I personally use TD Ameritrade. I know I imagine Schwab, whatever brokerage platform, E-Trade, whatever you want to use, probably supports OTC stocks. I can't say with any guarantee. I use TD Ameritrade, but just keep that in mind, you guys, if you can't find them on Robinhood or whatever. Okay, so ALYI, very, very bullish on ALYI. If we see a green day in ALYI tomorrow and break above this red line, which has been a historical pretty strong, again, once we broke this support, that was again just a general line of support on this huge rally, and hopefully two-wave playing out right now, exactly similar to ZKIN. Again, you guys, the two-wave theory, the good old two-wave theory boop, boop. Parabolic move up, bubble pops, you see capitulation, you see us regain strength. We double bottomed here, bottom here, exactly the same spot. So double bottom, similar to a double top, usually means that you will see a nice pop to the upside. And I think this is just going to be a resumption of the greater rally that is ALYI. But that said, we do need to see a big a move up tomorrow. If we can see even a 5-10% move up tomorrow for ALYI, which, considering again, you guys, is only a $9 million company, it does not take much capital inflow to appreciate the value of this stock. Like, literally, if just enough, like, if we get one good piece of like mainstream news for ALYI, then this stock is very, very likely to pop off. Because again, a $10 million market cap, I always say this, you guys, but we could 100x from here and we would still be sub $1 billion market cap, which is still tiny. It's still tiny. So anything sub $1 billion in the public markets is tiny. And $9 million is tiny. So that's why this excites me, because again, it has that 100x potential, which is exactly what I'm looking for. If I can't trade options, can't buy calls on a stock, and I'm buying common shares, that's why personally my ALYI position is pretty massive. Just for me at least. Everything's relative, right? But I got a big old bag of ALYI for full transparency. Also for full transparency, have zero direct affiliation with this company. I just think it's an amazing trade with very crazy potential. But again, just my opinion. Regardless, from a technical perspective, we do have to see another green day. If we can break above, just like over the next couple days here, if we can break above, just to play it safe, 9 cents. It's crazy how cheap this stock, the actual share price is as well. If we can break 9 cents, definitely double digits. If we can break 10 cents, if we can break a 10-cent ALYI, I think we are back off to the race, and I think it's very, very likely it will ultimately come first to test the bottom line of this beautiful ascending channel right here from the double bottom right there. More short to medium term ascending channel, like very solid ascending channel. I think we'll probably test the bottom side of this first. That'll take us to about 13 cents. If we can break above 13 cents, break back into this channel, I think it's very likely that by the end of this week, which is March 19th, we could test the top side of this channel, which would bring us to about 20 cents. And again, you guys, ALYI's high back in just early February. So we've seen a long correction, you guys, pretty much a 75, it's like an 80% correction. Let's do a quick price range here just to get that a little more, boop. So right there to right there, that is an 85% correction almost. Again, you guys, I've been you guys know, shout out to, again, Discord, newsletter, all you guys know I've been accumulating ALYI over the course of this pullback, just because, again, I see so much potential in this stock as a trade. Will the company execute on what they're saying they're going to do? The story is amazing. The vision is great. Will they execute on it? I have no way to know that, but I do think as a trade, just because the market cap's so small, because once again, the vision is so sick, I think the potential for this company with the Revolt token too, the cryptocurrency sector, maybe altcoins, again, having their moment, blockchain and altcoins as opposed to Bitcoin having their moment. I think all the stars are aligning for ALYI, and I'm very excited to see what happens. So short-term price target by the end of the week, if all goes best case scenario, is just under 20 cents. So about 19 cents, test the previous high. If we can break 20 cents and break the previous high back in February, I think we are off to the, I think we're going to, again, first is Mars, and then $10. First is fake Mars, moon Mars, little Mars, and then after that, I think it's very likely we could ultimately come up to just $1 is my medium-term price target. Medium to long-term price target is $10. Again, that is going to be about 100x from here, and that would take us to $1 billion valuation. So a $10 ALYI, again, you're looking at over 100x from this point, which is. That's exactly what excites me once again from a stock perspective. Just potential, has raw potential, raw power. But short term, if we do break above this, I think maybe by April 1st, if all goes well, and again, it's very possible just because ALYI has such a freaking small market cap. To test the overall line of resistance here, best case scenario using absolute high is going to be on April 1st, about 66 cents. And then more conservative price target, again, like I just did with Zeke and like XNET as well, is going to be about 58 cents, which again, from multiple perspective, you're looking at like a 7x from current levels, all right? So very exciting here. Again, you guys, $1, $10, $100, $1 million, maybe one day, we'll see. But again, all jokes aside, I do think that we'll see a $60 ALYI potentially by March 1st, but you guys know promises here. This is just what again, very good case scenario, but because again, it's such a small market cap, if we get good news, they are coming out with allegedly some banging news at the end of this week. So I'm very excited to see what that is, talking about the Revolt motorcycle, everything that's going on there. So again, you guys, if you're not super familiar with ALYI, if you just kind of maybe tuned in lately watching the stock watches, I do have the video, the solo analysis of ALYI. So go check that out if you want to learn a little bit more about the company itself, and as always, you guys, do your own research. Figure out if it's right for you. It's probably not right for a lot of people, but that's why you do your own research and make your own decisions. All right, close it out with CWRK. So CurrencyWorks, again, dipping a little bit today, not surprising at all. I was calling for this over the past few videos where we covered CWRK, just looking overextended. I do think that we will come down. CWRK, I think my price target for CWRK is going to be about $2.15, just like, again, TO101, you guys, just to test the previous resistance on this rally. You saw some resistance right here. Obviously, it was the previous high. Come down here, test the previous high around $2.15. Like $2.20 is conservative price target, because I assume a lot of traders are probably going to be looking at these levels right here. So conservatively, $2.20. Maybe we come down to $2. I don't know. But I do think that CWRK is a great company. I do think similar to ALYI, I view this as a venture investment. So I'm pretty much looking to average it on dips. And again, yeah, I mean, pretty simple there. If we do break back about, I think after we come down to this level, again, maybe we come down to $2 with a little more support. Worst case scenarios, we come down to about like 170 and just set a lower high on the overall uptrend. But I do think that we can, like CWRK, I think if Bitcoin does reach 80K and the cryptocurrency sector pops off, may take another week or so now that Bitcoin is pulling back, which we'll get to right after this. I think CWRK could easily hit double digits and hit $10, which is, again, $10 CWRK is a 4x from here. So very exciting potential, but I do think that there's a little more short-term downside ahead for CWRK. Closing out with BTC, let's see where we're at on the charts. Again, being eaten back up off this line of support. I like that we hit it sooner than later. So the rest of this evening will be very telling. Again, I might hop in the Discord. Of course, when I post this video, I'll hop in the comments, see what you guys are thinking. Probably hop in the Discord for a little bit later too as well. Just catch up on Bitcoin, see what we should expect tomorrow. So I'll see you guys there if you're part of the Discord. But it is reassuring to me that we are getting eaten back up here. Like if we close a daily below this line of support, that would almost flip me short term. That would flip me short term bearish, definitely glass half empty as opposed to glass half full. If we close a 4-hour or daily below 52.4, like at just this level right here, that would pretty much confirm to me that we are probably going to see more downside, probably to like to the mid to high 40Ks. Okay, so that said, I do still think it's likely. Hopefully this plays out by the end of the week, and this is just a quick dump prior to, again, resuming the overall uptrend. I do think that we will test this line of resistance at some point on the short-term downtrend. If we can break above this, once again, break above 59K, flip bullish, and I think we are resuming the rally. So please let me know down below what you guys think is going to go down, what your price targets are for Bitcoin, CWRK. I don't know why I said CWRK first. All right, Bitcoin miners, if you're excited for XNET, if you're holding a bag of XNET going into earnings, again, you guys, I'm excited to see what happens with XNET and ZKIN specifically, definitely ALYI. These three are probably the most exciting, in my opinion, definitely the plays that I'm most excited about in my personal portfolio. So please let me know what's exciting you right now, what you're thinking in terms of downside, if you think this is short term, if you think we're going to dump more. Always love talking shop with you guys, always love learning from you guys, so I'll catch you downstairs in the comments. And until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.